the GOAT debate has always been the most discussed debate of all time. But in today's video, we won't be focusing on the greatest player of all time. We'll be focusing on the greatest 10 players of all time. So without further ado, this is my list of the greatest 10 players in NBA history. First off, let's start with a few honorable mentions. Our first honorable mention is the greatest ball handler in NBA history. Sorry, Kyrie, but Allen Iverson is, before we start our top 10, Allen Iverson is our first honorable mention of this video. Our second honorable mention is to the late, great Jerry West. This guy has been a bucket getter since the first time that he stepped on the NBA court. Once again, Jerry West is our second honorable mention. RIP to a living legend, the logo of the NBA, Jerry West. And for our final honorable mention for now, Big O, Oscar Robertson. This guy he was so good at getting triple-doubles, he created the triple-double. In his prime, his nickname was the Big O, and well, he's always the Big O, but in his prime, his nickname was Mr. Triple-Double. He changed the way triple-doubles were looked at the time. Until Russell Westbrook, he had the most triple-doubles in NBA history. So thank you, Oscar Robertson, and RIP. I'm sorry, Oscar Robertson. By accident, I said RIP, but thankfully you are not dead. Sorry for saying that once again. Now, let's go to the top 10. Well, my top 10 NBA. At number 10, this may surprise a lot of you, but I'm going to put Kevin Durant over all of those amazing players. Kevin Durant has shown us a lot of amazing plays during his career, and two championships, 2 finals MVPs, 1 MVP. I think he's the greatest Thunder of all time. Some people might argue that it's Charles Barkley, but in my opinion, Kevin Durant some people might argue that it was Sean Kemp or someone like that, but in my opinion, Kevin Durant changed the Oklahoma City Thunder dynasty. He made the finals once against the Miami Heat, but he lost because, LeBron James. So that's number 10. Now moving along to number 9. Now at number 9, Legend Larry Bird. He has so many championships that I can't even count. He has so many great plays. He changed the three-point shot. Well, people say Curry changed it, but he is one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. Even though he hasn't made a lot, he played in like the 70s and 80s, so makes sense. But Larry Legend is at my number 9. He was an amazing shooter all around, amazing three-point shooter, amazing mid-range shooter, amazing at everything in the game. As you're seeing these highlights, he's an amazing passer. He can do any play pretty much. Now moving along to number 8 on my list. Now for number 8, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. The most rebounds in NBA history, few championships. You see Bill Russell talking about him. Wilt Chamberlain is just one of the most dominant big men in NBA history. Even before he was in the NBA, he was with the Harlem Globetrotters, and he was super athletic. if you've seen his plays outside of the NBA, he is just, you can already see he's more athletic than just the NBA. He can jump super high. There's even a clip of him shooting from like half court. But Wilt Chamberlain, an amazing defender, super high, an amazing shot blocker, amazing in the post. 100 points in one game. He even has a record for the most records in NBA history. So that's number 8. Now moving along to number 7, that might surprise some of you. Tim Duncan is higher than Wilt Chamberlain. I know some of you, or most of you, will be thinking that Wilt Chamberlain is greater, like, in everything than Tim Duncan. But really, the greatest power forward of all time, he had I'm pretty sure 5 championships. He had 5 championships in his career. He played 20 seasons in the NBA. He was an amazing scorer, amazing defender. In the NBA Finals in the 2011 NBA Finals, when he was up against LeBron James, or 2014, I couldn't remember. He was up against LeBron James, and he was cooking them. He was against LeBron James, Ray Allen, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. He was against all of those NBA all-time greats, and he still won with the help of Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. Here's a clip of the finals. So apparently it was 2014, and he was just, in his entire career, Tim Duncan surpasses Wilt Chamberlain. Not by a huge margin, but still surpasses him as the greatest power forward in NBA history. Now at number 6, I know that you can barely know who this is because of all the blurriness, because this is from the 50s. Bill Russell. He just changed the NBA. Amazing rebounding skills, amazing defensive skills. One of, if not the greatest defender in NBA history. Bill Russell was just amazing from everything. He won 11 championships. 11 championships. And he also won 8 championships in a row. He was an amazing scorer, an amazing rebounder, amazing blocker. I mean, his highlights just say it all. He was amazing. He was just an amazing at work, R.I.P. to the legend. That's all I could say. Now, before we move on to the top 5, another honorable mention, the Worm, Dennis Rodman. He is definitely the greatest rebounder in NBA history. I know you saw that last play. Even though he didn't get a lot of rebounds in his career, he was just a hustler. See, 10,000 career rebounds. He was just amazing from rebounding, defending, one of the greatest defenders. See, that's the most iconic rebound ever from him. And he has way more than just that. He's the greatest rebounder, one of the greatest defenders. He was part of the Bad Boy Pistons that won against Michael Jordan, one of the only franchises that won against Michael Jordan. Then he teamed up with Michael Jordan and won 5 or 4 rings with him. It was just amazing. Then he moved on to the Lakers to play with Shaq and Kobe, and he won a championship with them until he retired. Just an amazing player. Now, another honorable mention before we move on to top 5 is, you see him, Stephen Curry. You see that crazy 3? He has way more than where that came from. He could hit half courts for no reason. There could be 10 minutes on the clock, 20 seconds on the shot clock, pull it from full court and make it. He was just phenomenal at three-point shooting, anything you like. The only reason that he wasn't in the top 10 in the first place was because of his defense. Other than that, he was just phenomenal at three-point shooting. He was pulling it from half court. You see that defensive stop? That was a block. Curry blocked it. That's crazy. You know, Curry, the greatest three-point shooter of all time. Look at this. Full court. He doesn't even have that big of a reaction because he knows that happens all the time. That happens every single game. Every single moment of every single game, he could pull it from there and he's always going to make it. I'm talking too much for an honorable mention, but now let's move on to the top 5. At number 5, honestly, is this even a question? Magic Johnson, the greatest passer of all time. Just wait until they show these highlights and you'll see what I'm talking about. Almost loses it and still megs somebody while he's on the floor, and then he slams it. Just him and Larry Bird, the greatest rivalry of all time. Him and Jordan, one of the greatest rivalries of all time. Look, Magic Johnson is just top 5, okay? He can never be stopped. Nobody can stop him. If maybe not the next 4, but nobody else can stop him. He is just amazing at passing. He could see you if you're at full court and he's under the basket. He'll still see you. He'll do a 360 behind the back and pass it to you, and it'll just be crazy, okay? Magic Johnson, amazing, just amazing. Changed in the NBA for everybody. Even Jordan, even Larry Bird. Wait, no, not Larry Bird. But he changed it for Jordan. He changed it for LeBron. LeBron and Jordan idolized him. He was just amazing at everything in the game. Now we move on to number 4. Number 4, is this even a question? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, drafted by the Lakers and later in his career, drafted by the Bucks. Later in his career, he was traded to the Lakers, and with the Lakers, he broke Wilt Chamberlain's record of 33,000 career points. Then he went on to be the all-time NBA leading scorer until 2023, where we all know who broke the record. The LeBron James. Sorry for saying the LeBron James. But LeBron James broke his record, obviously. So he didn't create the skyhook. He made it popular. It was his shot. All of these highlights that you're seeing right now are skyhooks. None of them were not a skyhook. Except for maybe this one. Nope, never mind. He's going to the post. Look, he was just insane, okay? Oh my God. Kareem was just amazing at everything. He was super dominant. He was amazing in the post. Look at that skyhook. He was Jordan's idol. He was LeBron's idol. He was everyone's idol. Even Shaq. He's just an inspiration to watch. Before we move on to the top 3, another honorable mention, Hakeem Olajuwon. Most blocks in NBA history. One-time MVP. First pick in '84. 2 times back-to-back finals and 1-time finals MVP. He spent 1 season in Toronto. Let's go Raptors! And then he retired in '02. His jersey number was retired by Houston, and he was just an amazing player. well, most blocks in NBA history, I already said that, but the most unguardable move in NBA history. It's not the hook shot, it's the dream shake by Hakeem Olajuwon. He was just amazing at this. Nobody could guard this move. Every time he used it, he was open, and if he wasn't open, he would just score. He was amazing at that move. Now, another honorable mention is Dirk Nowitzki. So he has just been amazing. He had the flu game against LeBron and D Wade and won it. And people were talking about Jordan's flu game, but nobody was talking about Dirk's flu game. So I just wanted to bring that up. One-time champion, one-time MVP. He was an amazing player. He had the most unguardable move ever, the one-legged fadeaway. He just pushed off. He pushed off with that one arm and then created separation with that one foot and shot it. And every single time he would make it. Also, one of the greatest power forwards of all time, but he still couldn't sneak up in that top 10 of all time because, well, because all of these players, they have more greatness in them than Dirk, unfortunately for him. But he was still an honorable mention before moving on to number 3, which we are going to do right now. This might be the first time that anybody has put Kobe Bean Bryant in their top 3 NBA. Everybody was putting him probably like number 8, number 10, something like that. Look at this chase down block. He had no time to get that ball back, but he still ran cross court and got the block. One of the greatest scorers of all time, the greatest Laker of all time, a three-peat with Shaq, but 2 more championships, which made him a 5-time NBA champion, 1-time NBA MVP. He spent his entire career with the Lakers. Even in his final season, he played amazing. And everybody remembers that 81-point game and that farewell tour with 60 points for Kobe Bryant. He had never had a bad game in his entire career. And the most inspirational player of all time, in my opinion, Kobe Bryant. But he's not my favorite, though. My favorite player is going to be next at number 2. LeBron James. For 5 years now, I've been claiming that LeBron James was the GOAT, right in front of Michael Jordan. But that was when I was younger. Now I'm older. I've seen The Last Dance, and I know who's a greater player. But in a few years, probably next season, after playing with Bronny James, after most likely averaging 25 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 27 points, like this season, in his 21st season, like 27, 7, and 7. He just played Olympic, and in the Olympics, he has just been off. Amazing highlights. Oh my God, bro. LeBron, 4-time champion, 4-time MVP, 4-time Finals MVP, 20-time All-Star appearance, 26 consecutive points against the Pistons. He has proved everybody wrong. Like, everyone was doubting him. Everybody in the NBA, even his teammates before he even played, even his teammates on the Cavaliers doubted him, saying that they have better players at this position. He started in his first game and he popped out on his first game. I might be getting carried away, but one of the most iconic celebrations of all time LeBron James, one of the greatest dunkers of all time. People are saying that he's not clutch, but he is clutch. Okay, he is clutch. So Skip Bayless, I'm sorry, but he is clutch. 2016 3-1 comeback, 40,000 points. Next season, I might change my mind for who's the GOAT. Sorry, MJ. But now, we gotta talk about number one. Here is Michael Jordan, the greatest player in NBA history. 6-time NBA champion, 6-time Finals MVP, 5-time MVP. Michael Jordan has played 15 seasons in the NBA, and he has shown everyone why he should have went to the Rockets. But luckily for the Bulls, they made a dynasty, and without MJ, the Bulls would have never won 6 NBA championships with 2 three-peats. MJ, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman, the greatest trio of all time, ending this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want, you could like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.